show you the testing screen. And there's one more thing I need to set up before that'll really work. Go to File, Settings. I need to set up a hotkey for it. Okay, so there I can switch over to the testing screen, screen number 10. I can also go back to my face, and back to work. Let me make sure that registered. Okay. Okay, so we'll write that. The test will automatically run. So there we are on the testing screen, hopefully. Shuts down, fine. We're back to our standard page. Okay. Thanks for bearing with me during that setup. Now, what were we going to do? Oh yeah, covering from yesterday, that investigate the MTID bug. That was just kind of a bug that we were seeing when there were no subscribers down here. I should clean up this CSS at some point, but I'd rather get some tests up and running first. Okay, so that's updated. Okay, so we were able to load credentials into a file. I don't like this browser sleep. Actually something I should set up. I'm going to try putting that testing screen next to mine, just on the bottom of the browser window. Put that right down there. And now you should be able to see those tests run. In this case, the test might fail. Yep, it failed. Here's a way to do it. See if that fixes it. finally is not a function. Then we'll use them. Okay, worked that time around. One more try. And one more just to be sure. Okay, looks good. Okay, we just added in that bin for the done. Okay, let's check out the network graph over here. So we're still in the dual browser testing branch, and that's our big to-do, so let's get that up and working. Yesterday I was looking for the browser setup using multiple browsers in the same test in FAQ, but it is in the docs, it's just in browser setup. A couple of gotchas with it, so you can easily create a new browser. The main gotchas are element, and these selectors belong to each browser instance that you create up here. I might create 3 browser instances to verify that some browsers can't decrypt something. I guess that would be Eve, for our eavesdropper. So we can create some credentials for her too. Reload over here. Eve. Add user. Okay. And Eve does not have, Eve just has her own key. She won't have Alice's or Bob's. So we'll create an archive. That's 4.3. Test credentials eve.zip. So here our first browser has Alice already in there. So okay, let's look at the browser setup stuff. Bob browser. Okay, let's create a Bob browser.
The position you wish was in, words coming out from the power within. Kill the din, run 'em in is a move to metal.
Okay, we don't have any mock stuff, so work new driver instance. We want it to load up on the same page. Where element Bob equals browser. Browser Bob dot element. Browser Bob file input. Element Bob. Bob. Let's see what happens with this now. Okay, Alice's test is running. Alice's was fine. Now we've started up another window for Bob. Yep. Okay, load Bob's credentials from a zip file. That worked fine. A lot of repeat there. And turn that into page objects at some point. But not that important. I'm going to be removing the debug page eventually anyway, so I'll hold off on doing that. While this is going, I'm going to see if I can invite some more people to watch. There we go. Okay, and nobody's watching the stream right now, but whatever. I've got it recorded for posterity, or not even for posterity, so that I can review it later. Maybe a year from now I can look at it and think, oh, I used to be a terrible programmer. Or not a terrible programmer, a much worse programmer than I am. Than future me is. Hopefully future me will look back at this code and think, ah, you took care of me past me. And I want to load up Eve's credentials too. So now we should get 3 browser windows. Uh-oh. Had some problem. Browser Bob is not defined. That was on line 59. Okay, yeah, that would be why. Expect Eve to be Bob? Nope. This is already becoming unmanageable. But I don't think I have to look at those again. Let's go over here to the testing screen. So yeah, you can see kind of what's going on here. I'll run the test one more time. Okay, so there we go. Make sure we're on the desktop. I don't trust my hotkeys sometimes. Pardon the interruption. Okay, we're on the desktop. Okay, yeah, that little window seems to be working all right. Oh, I thought of something I want to change about that little window. And see how bad this looks as a black text. Okay, so nothing shows up there. That's something to figure out later. Okay. Copy this. And remove most of this. Clean this up a little bit. Got a lot of change lines here. Okay, so I have not committed since adding Eve's credentials. And for our next test, load up Alice's stuff in here. So we can get a good sense for what buttons we need to click. Okay, so we've already unlocked Alice's key. All the keys are unlocked in our 3 browsers. Excuse me, I had to answer some questions about fish, flax, and borage oil. Good times. Okay, so we're going to try to encrypt a message for Bob from Alice. We've already logged in as Alice. Okay, so that message.
Welcome to the future. 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 Welcome to the future.
Element
Welcome to the future.
by model.
Welcome to the future. Welcome to the future. Welcome to the future. Future. Welcome to the future. Welcome to the future. Welcome to the future.
I don't want to use SYN keys.
Future. 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 Future.
Okay,
Future.
it looks like clear might do it.
Future. 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 Future.
Alice's is firing up. Bob and Eve are now loaded.
Future.
Okay, so we were able to send whatever into that text field. That's good.
Future.
Okay, and our target user is automatically set to Bob.
Welcome to the future.
It looks like I'm gonna have to
Welcome to the future. Welcome to the future. Future.
my CSS is maybe send message. Oh, I have way too many these things open. Huh. Now that's strange. Very strange. I'm gonna remove this browser pause. Let it run all the way through, and then it looks like I'll be deleting a bunch of windows over here on the testing screen, because it's not supposed to be working like that. Although I will say I'm rather happy with how... it's because I have browser sync set up to do that. Need to change that default. Browser sync should not synchronize by default. Okay. Let's go to the gulp file. And where's that error? Let's see if this fixes that error. Connected to browser sync. What's going to happen this time? Now before, when I was typing into the send a message box, it would type into all of them because browser sync was set up to duplicate that stuff. This time around, it's just typing into Alice's. Invalid or illegal selector. Obviously, I don't have the right format for this ng-click binder. Okay, there we go. Brackets around this whole thing. See how that does this time around. Oh. Yeah, it was this ng click I had not been showing. It needed brackets around it, I think. Message from Bob to Alice has been filled in. Looks like I've got an error. Huh. Maybe the only error is that I need done here. Oh boy. Lots of things loading up now. But at least I do have the done in there, so hopefully these tests will shut down cleanly. Yep, finished. And I can just remove those. I'm going to go back to the Protractor FAQ because there was a handy thing for dumping out see if this does any better. Message from Alice to Bob. Fortunately, Selenium only wants to show... Oh, I didn't even add in the logging stuff. So let's see how this does with some logging. Way too many windows open again. We're loading up Eve. Huh. We are getting that MTID bug here. Now, let's see if that's just because of... If we reload with nothing, yeah. So that happens every time. Okay. I wish I was seeing these logs I think I need to have some way of seeing what message was sent. Let's look at the debug controller again. Close down all of those so that it will be cleaner on the next run. Of course, every time I change these, db parse data. I'm not sure what goes there. Well, I know what I want to go there. I want the name of that, or the hash for that torrent that was created to go in there, so I can pick it up in Bob's profile and Eve's profile and try to download it and see what's going on with it. Controller. It really doesn't want me to leave blanks. I guess that makes it easier to read a single thing. Does that get rid of it? What about that? Put that. Reopen it. Huh. I'll worry about that later. So, after send message, okay, then function torrent, self-read torrent. Okay, what do I get from the torrent? Info hash. Start up a clean run of tests here. Loaded up Alice's keys just fine. Next up is Bob's keys. I'll need a pause or something to be able to see that info hash, I bet. Okay, so I got an info hash there. That's good. I do have a pause. What? Where is that pause? Okay, so we'll declare that variable up there, and grab that element. By binding. What did I change? You see what's going on. Make sure I haven't done anything really dumb. Okay. For an info hash, add the info hash, ghost mode false. commit some of this stuff. Anything else that I should pick up yet? No. By binding. Oh. I keep typing into the wrong window. Info hash. To use info here because that's what will display in the terminal with Selenium WebDriver test. Okay, that crashed really fast. Really painfully fast. Oh. There we go. Alice is loaded. Bob is loaded. Eve is loaded. You're able to send a message from Alice. But I didn't see a hash come through in the logs down here. Okay. that's got to be something with the controller up here. Let me actually load in Alice's keys. Reload Alice, unlock, send a message. Huh. Debug controller. And message. Create content. Self-read torrent. And that's where I added that. Huh. Okay, okay. We have a thing where we need to update, get the scope to apply so that that info hash will update. Maybe, okay, we're returning self-read torrent. See if I can just wrap this in scope apply. Alice is not unlocked. Console, no errors. Huh. Scope lined up there, okay. Okay, it's scope. $ apply, isn't it? Okay, much better. So now we at least get the info hash. Okay, I think protractor tests were running too fast. So Beep 5, protractor. Okay, that should give it enough time for Browserify to recompile the scripts before starting that. And you know, I shouldn't be watching that folder. I should be watching the build folder for updated JavaScript. What's in build? Build.js, common, debug, user. Okay. Oh. I do not need to sleep 5 anymore. Maybe I need to sleep a little bit. We'll sleep for 2 seconds. See if that improves things. Still don't have hash. Wait a full 10 seconds. Wait. I added that sleep in at the wrong time. Let's add a sleep for 10 seconds. See if that improves things. Seconds after the click. That's interesting. I'm just gonna pause that browser and I'll manually click that thing, see what happens. Something failed. Okay, so we're not getting anything now. I'm stumped. With no console open over here, put in Alice, send a message to Bob. I get that immediately. Very strange. Oh, Alice for some reason is not unlocked. Thought Alice would be unlocked. No wonder we can't send a message. How did we unlock this stuff for Alice? Oh, we haven't unlocked any of these. There I was saying that all this stuff was unlocked. So next up, we'll be unlocking Alice's credentials. We'll also have to unlock Bob's. Okay, we'll start from here. Yank. This here should unlock Alice's credentials. we're going to go for element by model, db passphrase. Okay, so user. We'll send Alice's passphrase. Then we click. Oh my god. Edited that in the wrong spot. Let's see if that's a little bit better. by binding. Now let's unlock by model. I just wanted to make sure I was doing the right stuff there. We've got one failure so far. Forgot that I was storing a hash of passphrases. So, let's see. Alice is loaded, Bob is loaded, now Eve is loading. Alice. Okay, what happened? We did get the hash this time. Okay, so the Eve thing took a while. I'm curious as to how long this has been broadcasting. Well, an hour. Hour and 20 minutes. So I think it's high time I took a break. Made it quite a ways. Made it quite a ways with the whole Protractor testing of multiple browsers. Took a while to get the info hash, but I've got that now, so now I can move on to testing in other browsers to see that we can download that info hash and verify that the content we sent was received.